What is Cafe Mocha? Cafe Mocha is experts, celebrities.
What's up? This is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yours truly, Idris Elba.
This is Fantasia.
This is In Vogue.
This is India Ari.
So much more. All from a woman's perspective.
What flavor are you, baby?
This is Cafe Mocha.
Yolanda Adams has a new show on BET Plus. She's here to talk about it. Plus, we're talking to Pastor Mike. Right now, it's Roland Martin. Cafe Mocha begins now.
On the line, Roland Martin, host and managing editor of Roland Martin Unfiltered. Roland, let's discuss this new congressional initiative to support Black media. What's going on with that?
Well, I want us to be even more specific. Black-owned media.
Okay, thank you.
Here's what, and the reason that distinction is important is because companies and these largely white ad agencies, what they have done is for years, they have, to reach African Americans, we're going to give them money to Black target. So, BET used to be Black owned, but they're not anymore. So when they say we're spending money with BET, well, you're actually giving them money to Viacom, CBS, which is owned by Sherry Redstone. When they talk about digital, Complex, their digital platform reaches more African Americans than anybody else. Yeah, but you're giving the money to BuzzFeed, okay? When people say, hey, we're giving the money to OWN. No, Discovery owns 95% of OWN. Mm-hmm. And Discovery now is in partnership with AT&T, and that means AT&T owns 71% of that combined company. So when you give money to OWN, you're really giving it to AT&T. And so when you talk about the same thing, Clear Channel, Black Information Network, I got commentaries on there. And so we've always seen that. Here's the problem. We, as Black-owned media, we don't have the ability to grow because we're frozen out of the dollars. Every year in the general market, $322 billion, billion, is spent on advertising. Mm-hmm. Black-owned media gets anywhere from 0.5 to 1% of the $322 billion, 0.5 to 1%. The federal government, same thing. We get on average 1% of the money. So what does that mean? That means that you at Cafe Mocha can't pay your host more. You can't grow your staff. You can't increase your marketing budget. You can't increase your advertising budget. So you would love to take out billboards and run more digital ads to get more people to become aware of you and listen to your show. Well, it comes down to money. If I don't have the money to spend on that, then I can't market my show, and I can't be just as big. This thing happens all the time. And so that's why, so understand numbers. Fox News makes a profit, not revenue, a profit, meaning how much they got left over after expenses of $1.5 billion. Wow. CNN's profit is $1 billion. MSNBC's profit is around $700 million. And so that's why when you look at Black-owned media, we can't afford to send, we have somebody who's a congressional correspondent, cover stores all across the country. We simply don't have the capacity. So I have been working with Congressional Black Caucus to demand an audit of the federal government. How much money did Black-owned media get when it came to the census, when it came to COVID money, and when it comes to every federal agency? 4 years ago, Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton had the General Accounting Office, the GAO, do that study. And it showed that in 5 years, this was 2018, this is when Obama was president, y'all, okay? In 5 years, $5 billion was spent by the federal government. That's taxpayer money. 51 million of the $5 billion over 5 years went to Black-owned media. That means that Black-owned media, on average, got just $10 million a year. That's collective. All Black-owned media out of the $1 billion being spent every year. That is an abomination, and that has to change.
So you're talking about holding them accountable. This is about accountability.
It's about accountability. It's about equity. It's about fair share. Because I can tell you, because I own my company. My company's New Vision Media. My digital network is called Black Star Network. Okay, those are companies. I can tell you, I have been in the meetings with these ad agencies. And understand this here. Who gets the ad contracts that control the federal government dollars? The same largely white ad agencies that we're fighting with for the general market dollars. So when we meet with them, y'all, it's crazy. They'll sit here and say, oh, you must deliver this audience. Well, you don't have the capacity to deliver that audience. And so then it's like, well, then you got to give the money back, or you can't even compete. So they create the barriers that keep you from ever being able to grow.
Right.
And so this is what happens to black-owned companies all around the country. That's why we remain small. So, yeah, you got a few black-owned media, you got a couple of black-owned media companies with size, Urban One, Essence, but that's it. That's it. I'm sorry, we need more than two. And so I'm not begrudging them. What I'm saying is we need more black-owned media companies getting the dollar, being able to participate in order for us to be able to grow. I am tired of black-owned media and black people surviving. We're always surviving. Yeah. I want us to be thriving.
It's Cafe Mocha. We're talking to Roland Martin from Roland Martin Unfiltered. And, you know, Roland, I thought that once Byron Allen started making all that noise and suing and winning, that media companies would kind of come around a little bit and go, okay, well, let's
No.
Look like
no.
Let's at least act
No. First of all, I can explain. Byron's initial suit was with Comcast to get a carriage deal. Okay, so that's not advertising.
Right.
And yes, he, along with me and Todd Brown and Butch Graves, others in Black Enterprise, we have signed open letters to several companies demanding a fair share. And guess what? Since we've been doing that, we've seen companies make moves. We've seen McDonald's, Coca-Cola. We've seen General Motors, a number of companies announce they're going to double their spend or increase their spend. Because here's what they were doing. They were spending 1%. And when we met with them last year, they were like, well, we've increased it to 2%. Oh, thank you. We said, no, I'm not satisfied with 2%. I'm not satisfied with 5%. If we are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of your revenue, your market share, well, damn it, we should be getting more of that money. It's return on investment. And trust me, they're paying attention. If we posted something, if Lonnie posts something, I post something, and Yo-Yo posts something, and we all post something, and all of a sudden, and it has 20, 30, 50, 75,000 likes and 5,000 comments, oh, they pay attention. But you know what happens? We'll see 40 likes. We'll see 20 comments. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about billions. So at some point, we as black folks in this country have got to start dealing with the money.
On the way, Yolanda Adams stars in a new TV show on BET Plus. She's here to talk about it. It's Cafe Mocha. On the line, she's an award-winning gospel singer, host of her own morning show, and star of the new BET Plus series, Kingdom Business. On the line with us, Miss Yolanda Adams.
Yes. hello. You know, I am so excited about this new series on BET Plus. It's executive produced by the friend of the show, Devon Franklin, and you play the head of a church. Talk about the whole plot of the show.
Well, I'm actually the head of a record label and first lady of a church. Murder, intrigue, love, war, all those things that make up good TV.
You know what was so crazy? I heard on the commercials, I'm listening and it says she's a gospel singer and a pole dancer. I'm like, wait, what is going on?
Yep. But no, I'm not. No, hold up. Wait a minute. I was like, wait. I thought she was talking about the young lady who plays Rebel. I'm like, no. I will not be the. Oh no, ma'am. I don't think anybody's TV is ready for that.
Oh my goodness, that'd be a hit.
Girl, flop one, Lonnie.
A lot of people will be signing up for BET Plus. I know that.
Yes. But there's a theme of redemption, definitely. And a lot of people need redemption. And so we're showing in the first season, we're showing that anybody is worth redeeming and anybody can be redeemed. Mm-hmm. So this young lady that you were talking about, who's the exotic dancer, we choose to say exotic instead of pole. Praise the Lord. Same difference. Same difference. But, she has her roots in the church, and she has pretty much suffered church hurt after her mom passed and all of that stuff. So she turns to dancing after a stint in juvie and all of that. And I'm not going to give all the juicy stuff away because, oh my gosh, there's so much to unfold. But it is her road back to her relationship with God, because you know how you try to not to tell everything, but it's so good that, you know, because you've been a part of it and you know where it goes. But we liken it, and I thank God for our writers, we liken it to real life. Mm-hmm. And, you know, not that everybody goes through the exotic dancer thing, but everybody goes through something where they've lost their faith. They want to have faith in people. They want to have faith in, you know, in the church. They want to have faith in family, but all of those things have let them down. How do they get back to themselves? Because to me, the bottom line of overcoming is get back to, oh, this is what I used to be. This is what I don't want to be. This is where I am right now. But also, I trust God again.
It's Cafe Mocha on the line. Gospel winning singer and my friend. You can tell I'm tired, Yolanda. Yolanda Adams.
All right, girl. I know you've been up since 5.
Okay. You know, she's talking about her new BT Plus series, Kingdom Business. Now, how did you get involved in this project, Yolanda?
Dr. Holly Carter called me. Now, she and I have been friends for a while, and we were doing some research on some TV projects or movie projects. And she was working at the time with Mary, and she's like, we really got to get you on TV, blah, 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 on and on and on. And I'm like, I don't want some of the stuff that is being presented, because I think that when you have that vehicle, like you've used yours so amazingly, Lonnie, and all of you all have, I think once you have that responsibility, there's a certain kind of way you should present whatever you're presenting. And I never want it to come off cheesy, you know? Mm-hmm. I never want it to, and not that I'm saying that about anybody else, but I never want it to come out off, this is a better word, inauthentic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so this project, when she finally gave me the project, I said, okay, I like this. I love the script. I love the reading. And Devon said at the premiere that they all had agreed before I even got the role that I would probably be a good fit. Now, I had already auditioned, but, you know how you have all these callbacks and stuff like that, but it turned out so well because the schedule worked, everything worked. It was like everything just fell into place. So I was really, really happy about it.
So you are playing Danita Jordan.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about Danita Jordan? How is she presenting herself?
Oh, she's a mess, child. She is a true mess. And, you know, transparently, she probably is more like some first ladies than we want to admit. She's been hurt. She's in a loveless marriage. She has 2 beautiful children that she's pouring her life into because of the absence of the love. And so she's pouring her life into her record label. And she's cold. She's icy. She's snappy. And we're finding out through her characterization as the episodes go along, you find out, oh, so this could be why she's mad all the time. This could be why she never smiles. And this could be why she's always snappy and has a retort for everything.
Cafe Mocha, we're talking to Yolanda Adams about her new BET Plus series, Kingdom Business. I have to ask you, because you have, you know, like a few acting lines on your resume. You've explained why maybe you haven't done so many acting projects, but I imagine stepping into such a large role in a series at that had to be a little bit scary. I mean, how did you deal with that part of it? Like being nervous to go into this whole new world of, you know, using a different talent muscle.
It was quite undaunting because I think people have, they've seen my stronger talents. They seem my more overt talents.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said before, I didn't want to come off, inauthentic. I wanted it to be real. I wanted it to be something that people would say, oh my gosh, I see the character and not Yolanda Adams, the singer,
Right.
And there were a lot of places that I had to go really, really deep into some, background stuff to try to do that. And most of the stuff that I had to do that for, I had never experienced it. So I had to watch film. I had to go back to first ladies that I knew that were dealing with a whole bunch of stuff and draw from that. So, yeah, it was daunting. It was definitely daunting because it's like, what will they say?
But for me, getting to the place where you say yes and you don't talk yourself out of it and go, oh, well, I got the radio show. I'm working on the music. Like you're so nervous that you sort of make the excuse to get yourself out of this next thing, like a lot of people do.
Well, here's the thing. I'd already prayed for this. So this was an answer to a prayer. It wasn't like, all of a sudden I woke up one day, I'm going to act. No, I've acted since I was in high school. Mm-hmm. I mean, but that doesn't count. But I can say that I'm a member of the Thespian Society if they have not burned my dinosaur card. But but when you ask God to expand your territory, sometimes the territory is not conventional or traditional. And y'all know me. I've been on the show for a few times. I'm not traditional. I'm not conventional. And I do come out of places where people are like, whoa, that was different. And so when you have asked for an expansion, just know that the expansion will challenge you. It will get you to another level of focus. It will also get you to another level of loving yourself and understanding who you are and your own capabilities.
Definitely. Yolanda Adams has the Yolanda Adams Morning Show. And many years ago, when President Obama was the president, he invited all of the Black hosts of radio to the White House.
I remember.
And I was there with Miss Yolanda Adams. And do you remember that, Yolanda?
Of course I do. We had so much fun. So much fun. April Ryan was there as well.
Yes.
And so, wow. I just missed the Obamas. Can I say that on the radio?
Yes,
you can.
Of course you can.
Okay, I just missed them. Oh, my gosh, I missed them. So,
And
yes, Lonnie, I missed that moment.
We were in the Oval Office, you guys.
Yes.
And I said something to the president, but then he did a joke and he says, we got to get Yolanda Adams some shoes. Like, you remember that?
Yes, I do. Because we were talking about shoes. He's like, well, remember he said, well, Yolanda, how many pairs of shoes do you have? And I said, my thing was long. my excuse was long because I know I have a good 1,000+ pairs of shoes. But I know it is a sickness.
It's a sin. It is a sin.
And it's inherited. Can I tell you?
Wow.
It's inherited. My mama had it. My grandmother had it. So, it's just the way it
had
is.
no choice.
No choice.
I love it. Well, talking about the Yolanda Adams Morning Show, do you still love doing it?
I still love doing it. We are on hiatus right now. Y'all know how the summer months go, especially when your co-hosts have kids who are on summer vacation and all of that. And we're doing best ofs, but the camaraderie between myself, AV, Marcus Wiley, and Marcus Egby, it's infectious, number one. And you understand that these people have been together so much so that they're a family and they can answer one another's questions. Yeah,
How
it's
long
like,
have you been on the air? Seems like forever.
She said it seems like forever.
I mean,
this would
in a
be,
good way.
In a good way, yeah. This will be 16 years.
Wow. See, I told him it was over a decade.
That is.
Yes, definitely.
But we just love Yolanda Adams. We love her. We love her wholesomeness.
Thank you.
We love her music. You have gotten me through a lot of dark times. And, I just want to thank you for that. It's Cafe Mocha on the line, gospel award-winning talk show host, actress, Yolanda Adams. Let's talk about this jewelry line since we're talking about shoes.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Yolanda Adams Jewelry, and we're all in the business, and we know how expensive and extravagant jewelry can be. So what I wanted to do was, I love jewelry, but I wanted to give my fans who probably couldn't go out and buy a $2,000 bracelet, give them a look that was of quality, that, didn't break the bank, but it was just as fashionable. So we created certain pieces for folks who want to buy the gems as opposed to the diamonds. And it's been an adventure. And you all know, with branding yourselves, there are certain things that you stand by, and you would stand by if it took everything from you. Like all of your, that's a whole nother conversation. We'll talk about that later. But no, I mean, you would stand by and then there's certain things that you would not ever stand by. I know that I wear, everyday pieces that go to the gym with me, and I wanted that girl or that guy to be able to say, oh, okay, I'm taking that.
Where can we find this jewelry?
It's on YolandaAdamsJewelry.com.
And you also have a handbag line coming up.
I have a handbag line. It's called YA Handbags. I am African-American, Jamaican, loving Black woman. Because I do. My thing is that, if I am spending my money on it, chances are there are at least another 2 billion people spending their money on it. Mm-hmm. And so, basic things that we don't think about are those things that we have to have. I mean, purses for us, whether it is a crossbody or a clutch, you will need to keep your stuff in, nearby, conveniently close to you. So to me, it was just automatic, just like the jewelry. But the handbags came first. Couldn't make up my mind which set I wanted to start with, whether I wanted to start with pearls and all that. But back to the handbags. It's the same thing, giving the affordability with the luxury look that is well made, so that, you don't break the bank, because I'm about putting it in the bank as opposed to carrying the bank.
Well, you know what, Yolanda Adams, you are a shining example of Black excellence, of being a Black woman.
Yes.
And I'm proud to call you our friend, a friend of show, and my personal friend. I don't care what anyone says. You can deny it, but you will always be my friend, Yolanda Adams. We were with the president, the first Black president.
Yes, we were. You are crazy.
Thank you for stopping through Cafe Mocha, Yolanda. We really appreciate your time.
Yes.
I appreciate y'all too. Oh my gosh, y'all know I love you. I love every one of y'all.
As much as we love hearing your voice, we cannot wait to see you on BET Plus. Congratulations.
Check out her
thanks
new
so
show.
Much, y'all.
Her new show, Kingdom Business, on BET Plus, streaming right now. Check it out. Also, check out her jewelry line and the Yolanda Adams handbag line. Thank you, Yolanda.
Okay, y'all. Sisters in Solidarity, a celebration of girl groups for Black Music Month, hosted by the award-winning Funky Divas In Vogue.
It's Cindy Herron from In Vogue with this Black Music Month Spotlight. From the Bay, they were ahead of their time. Style and musical trendsetters for every girl group that followed. With 3 Grammy Awards and 2 American Music Awards, they're one of the first girl groups to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
We're really hard workers, and we go out there and we take our job very seriously.
With hits like Automatic, Jump, He's so shy, and I'm so excited. We celebrate the Pointer Sisters, our sisters in solidarity.
Girl groups who shape the fabric of contemporary music and soundtracks of our lives. Be sure to join the hashtag Ladies in Solidarity Music Challenge on Instagram. To experience more, visit cafemocharadio.com. Brought to you by...
It's time to embrace you, your melanin-rich skin, and its unique beauty needs.
When you get over the age of 50, you definitely have to start using things on your skin.
iKnow is made specifically to address maturing skin conditions. All of the iKnow products provide highly effective natural ingredients dedicated to delivering proven results.
The best advice my mother gave me, take care of your skin now so to take care of you later.
iKnow, your beauty solution for maturing skin.
It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha. Angelique, Lonnie Love, Yo-Yo on the line. 5-time Stellar Award-winning gospel artist, Pastor Mike Jr. His new album is called Singles Ministry Volume 1. Hi, Pastor Mike.
Hello.
What's up? I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
You know, we want to talk to you about the single life and being single and happy and single. I'm sure Lonnie always talked about that for years upon years. But before we get into the topic, tell us a little bit about where you're from and how you got into music and your church.
Well, first off, I'm just so honored to be here, man. I absolutely love everything you guys have done throughout the years and are continuing to do. But I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, man. Literally at 25, started a church in the city with 10 of my friends. And if I can give you the quick version, at 25, it's 10 of us. At 26, it's close to 1,000 of us. By 27, it's 5,000 or 6,000 people in an arena. And like, we just haven't looked back, you know, so we just been changing lives in the city of Birmingham. I recently just paid off $1.4 million worth of medical debt for everyone in the Birmingham area who had past due medical bills. And
wow.
Feeding the hungry and doing what we do. I think your misery becomes your ministry and your pain becomes your reason for living. So for me, I don't care where God takes me, Stellars and all this other stuff. In my heart, I'm still that kid sitting on the porch at my grandmother's house playing bingo when cars would pass by. And I made God a promise. I said, if he ever blessed me, we were going to in turn bless people. So that's just what we do, man. We love God. We love people. We make a difference. And we make music. Let's go.
So talking about the music, what made you devote a whole album to the single?
Now, let me tell you what's crazy. This album almost got me put out my house because I felt like doing it. So keep in mind, when quarantine first happened, I had a lot of members started hitting me like, Pastor, pray for me. I'm like, what's going on? Are you sick? They were like, no, I'm just at home quarantine single. Like, I'm by myself, you know? So I started getting on Zooms with them and saying how difficult it was to be locked in a house alone to your thoughts, alone to your past, alone to your ambition, to your hurts, to your desires. So as they would just tell me stories, I would begin to just write songs based off the stories I would hear. Right. And it hit me. I said, I want to do an album strictly for the singles. And we released it. And I thought it was going to be a passion project. In my head, I told my team, it's not going to chart. We're not going to make no noise. It's basically for my church. And we woke up the next morning. It was number 1 on iTunes. And I said, won't he do it? Yes, he will. So I'm excited.
There's so many people that's talking about relationships that's ended during this time, and a lot of people who are unsure what to do to make their relationship work. What are some words of encouragement?
One thing I would tell them, I'm in the midst of a series now that I believe can bless everybody entitled I Quit. And we live in a culture now where we're taught quitters never win and winners never quit. Be tough, strong, tough it out. Yeah. I think that's one of the greatest myths and lies that we've ever heard. You know, we say stuff in church that's not even biblical. We say stuff like, if you hold on a little while longer. Well, that's situational. That's not global. If I'm holding hot coal, I need to drop it. I shouldn't say hold on a little while longer. You know, so for me, I have seen the adverse effects of people staying in relationships longer than they should. So to somebody who's single right now, I would say be honest. Are you single and satisfied? Are you single and seeking? Are you single and mating? Be real about where you are in your life and just take control of who you are. One thing we can say, I told a group of guys this about women yesterday. I told them, I said, women are so strong now that you don't even have to lie to them. Give them the truth and let them make their own decisions. And that's I believe true. Right now, a lot of people are living in bondage because they are stuck and held hostage to decisions that they necessarily didn't have an option in. You know, they fell in love with a representative. You know this. You've been living long enough that when you're dating, the person you meet is not the person you're going to end up marrying. So we end up falling in love with potential. So we marry potential instead of marrying reality.
Because the thing is, guys always make it seem like we the ones that come with the representation with our hair and our nails and our, you know, whatever other fake things in our smile and batting our eyes. But guys switch it up too. They bring, oh, baby, I'm going to take care of this. And then they don't come with it.
Hey, absolutely. You know what we do? I told somebody, we always talk about how women are gold diggers. Well, men are gold fronters. You know, what we do the same way they say, well, that's not her hair. That's not her eyelashes. That's not her body. Well, that car you got is rented. So to me, the bait you use determines the fish you catch. So if all you do, fellas, is flash your money, you're going to attract a certain type of female. And I think everyone shows their representative. Just like now, you guys are interviewing me, and literally the moment I got on the call with you guys, hey, how you doing? This is Pastor Mike. God bless you. As soon as I hang up the phone, man, I'm so tired. What we finna eat? Because everybody has mastered front. That's what social media did. You know, everybody mastered fronting. And for me, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Think about this. Here's what we don't preach in church. Singles are the most overlooked demographic in the church. So here's what we don't preach. Jesus was single and Paul was single. Jesus is who we worship. Paul is who we built churches after. Both of them said our assignment was too critical for relationships. So some of us have to come to the stark reality that right now I got a radio show, I got a career, I'm touring, I'm speaking. I don't have time to be somebody mama in a sense of having to cook and clean and do X, Y, Z and this. So I think a lot of us right now we need to re-examine our goals because a lot of us are praying for things that's antithetical to the other thing we prayed. You know, I had a guy tell me yesterday, man, I want to be on tour. I want to do X, Y, Z. Then he turned right back around and was like, but I don't want to miss nothing. I said, well, brother, you better clone yourself. Like, because your prayers are counseling each other out. So I think we just got to be real with ourselves.
You know, part of the problem, I think, for those people, I'm going to say women, because I don't feel like men get this kind of pressure. Correct me if I'm wrong. That, you know, there's always a pressure for women to be in a relationship, to be married, to have children. You know, what do you do with the outside pressure? Because you could be resolving yourself like, this is what I'm doing. This is my focus. I'm good with this. But then you got all these bullets being thrown at you from everybody. People looking at you, thinking, what's wrong with her? She ain't got no kids. Like,
good question.
That's really good. I think one of the best things I heard, I had the precious privilege of interviewing Tasha Cobb, and she said something to me that changed my life forever. She said, I've always wanted to have children, and of course, she just testified how she went through a public battle of not being able to have kids, and she just recently adopted a beautiful baby. But she said the pain of meeting people and saying, now, when y'all gonna have some baby? Not knowing that we're secretly trying. You know, so for me, I think that's something we got to normalize being happy and alone. You know, and I think one thing I tell my singles a lot of time is I'm a boxing enthusiast. So I tell them whenever your family members hit you with the jab of marriage and the jab of kids, counter it, punch with a jab of reality. You know, so when they hit you with the whole, when you gonna get married? Are you happy in yours? You know, because
stop drinking so much.
Stop drinking so much.
Yeah,
they gotta look back at them and say, well, I can take yours if you want me to. What do you want me to do?
Here's your dose of espresso. Strong, hot news now.
This is the Espresso. For the past 5 years, Miss Opalee has been fighting to make Juneteenth a national holiday.
It's mind-boggling to think that we actually have a holiday. I don't know how to explain it.
CNN did a full live 4-hour Juneteenth concert with everybody from Chaka Khan to Neo to Mary Michelle Williams and Anthony Hamilton closing the show with some gospel. Why is this occasion important to Anthony?
Freedom, a chance to be free, a chance to tell my kids the history of becoming free, what it means, and how important it is to utilize that space and your privilege.
And after weeks of letting some mess escalate way beyond what it should have, Monique apologizes to DL's family.
I like to consider myself a woman of honor. So I've got to do something right now publicly that I did publicly. To DL Henry's family, I want to publicly apologize if I hurt anyone's feelings.
Oh, but only to his family, not to him. That's the Espresso. Angelique, Lonnie Love, and Yo-Yo. It's Cafe Mocha. We're talking to Pastor Mike Jr. He's not only a stellar award-winning gospel artist, but he's the pastor of Rock City Church in Birmingham, Alabama. We've been talking about the single life, why so many people struggle with being single when maybe they shouldn't.
So what do you have to say to those women who feel like they don't want to hold on? I mean, you know, single, you know, because we give so much to being single, and women are so dominant now, and women are the breadwinners, they're given more access, and so they really don't have the patience to really hold on.
We don't have to see back at our parents' day and our parents' day. You had to put up with that stuff. You didn't have a choice because you didn't have. Now it's like, I don't need you, please.
And that's what I mean. And because we have that attitude, I think that a lot of young women are giving up too quickly.
Yeah.
And see, I think one thing we have to do, I always pay attention to cultures. All right. So when grandmama was growing up, she didn't have a choice, you know. He was a breadwinner. He was everything. She stayed home, cooked and clean. All right. So then she had a child. That child grew up watching Claire. So she grew up watching Claire Huxtable be a power broker, but living with a mother who was taking care of a man. So this secret ambition in her was, no, when I grow up, I'm going to be a boss. So that young girl grew up and became this INDEPEN, however you spell it, independent woman. Okay. But what happened is she gave birth to a child who grew up watching Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Right.
Who is now boss, married. Because think about it. We called them housewives, but most of them weren't even married.
Right.
So now you have this new generation who's desiring the glam of a ring without the preparation of a marriage. So I think right now, that's why we're seeing so many young couples like, hey, I'm ready. You know, because I think I think some of them know what they want early, but then some of them really are just chasing a dream. We want it right now. You know, I tell everybody we run from process. You know what I'm saying? We run from process. You know, I thank God for the journey. I thank God for bankruptcy. I thank God for living in an extended stay, having to roll quarters every Friday just to pay that, to get another week to stay there. I thank God. I thank God for foreclosing on our first home. I thank God for the hard times, you know, me and my wife having to literally go to Wendy's and get a 4 for $4, and then which one you want? I get the nuggets, you get the junior bacon cheeseburger. We'll split the fries and we'll get a drink. I thank God for the process, because now it really made where we are now in life worth it. And sadly, so many people, I'm going to stop talking when I say this, so many people want the picture, not the blueprint. The picture is the end result. The blueprint is the details on how to get the end result. And sadly, social media is giving us a culture where all we do is post our pictures and we omit the blueprint. So now we have people with all these leftover pieces at the end and don't realize what it took for us to become who we are. It's like me wanting to start a radio show tomorrow and then thinking I'm going to be y'all. I don't know what y'all went through to get here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I think we just got to do better about embracing the process.
We've been talking about embracing being single instead of fighting it. This is Cafe Mocha. Our guest is Pastor Mike Jr. Before we wrap up, I want 3 tips that you give people for being single and satisfied and just being in that moment and being okay with it.
All right, 3 tips. Number 1, pick what you like. Let's not even be spiritual. I know you thought I was going to say pray about it. You don't have to pray about what you can pick. So what I would tell them right now, if you're single, you have a right to be picky and choosy. You pick what you like. Number 2, be real about what you cannot take. What are your non-negotiables? You know, if you're a breast man, don't get nobody in the itty bitty committee. If you like a tall girl, get you a tall girl. If you like chocolate men, don't get a light-skinned brother. Pick what you like. Stop making this so spiritual and just be real with yourself. Number 1, pick what you like. Number 2, what are your non-negotiables? I don't like people who smoke, so don't date a smoker. I don't like people who cuss in club. Don't date a cussing clubber. And number 3, don't move forward without God. I don't care how great of a pick you make. I don't care if they meet all your non-negotiables. If God ain't in it, I just don't believe it's going to work. And that's my 3 points.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
I think I just got in trouble too. I didn't mean to say that one part.
What the itty bitty committee?
Itty bitty committee.
That will get bleeped, Pastor. I'm telling. You started the conversation talking about the work that you're doing in the community, a community that is poor, a community that is very Black. How can people support your work?
Man, do me a favor. You can text Rock Nation to 28950. That's ROCKNATION, Rock Nation to 28950. And you can help be a part of what we're doing, man. We're so excited about all the strides we're making. We have one of the only African-American owned, fully accredited Christian schools in the state of Alabama, K through 8. So I'm excited about that. And we're continuing to make a difference. I tell everybody, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So that's one of the hallmarks and bedrock principles of my life. We give. Giving is what we do. So any person who wants to be a part of that, you can literally just text Live Big to 28950 and we can connect you and you can help us change lives.
Pastor Mike Jr., his hit album, the new one is called Singles Ministry Volume 1, and he's pastor of Rock City Church in Birmingham, Alabama. Thank you for joining us. It's great to meet you.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
Now you can go eat dinner and scratch and do whatever else.
Great conversation.
I thank you guys so much. And if you guys ever need anything, I'm one call away. Thank you so much.
If you want a little inspiration, make sure you follow Pastor Mike on Instagram, Pastor Mike Jr. That's the show. You can follow us on all platforms at Cafe Mocha Radio. And make sure you download the podcast. Just go to wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Cafe Mocha Radio, click follow or subscribe. Have the show delivered right to your phone. Cafe Mocha is a production of Miles Ahead Broadcasting in partnership with Compass Media. Executive producer Sheila Eldridge. For comments, booking, or more information, visit cafemocharadio.com.
Okay, y'all. Sisters in Solidarity, a celebration of girl groups for Black Music Month, hosted by the award-winning funky divas In Vogue.
Hey, it's Terry Ellis from In Vogue with this Black Music Month Spotlight. They are true sisters in the spirit who helped bring gospel music into the mainstream. With 3 Grammy Awards, 16 albums, and millions in sales, they are the highest-selling female gospel group in history.
When you're just faithful over the gift that God has given unto you, He can continue to allow you to move forward.
With hits like Is My Living in Vain, You Brought the Sunshine, and Pure Gold, we celebrate the Clark sisters, our sisters in solidarity.
Girl groups who shape the fabric of contemporary music and soundtracks of our lives. Be sure to join the hashtag Ladies in Solidarity Music Challenge on Instagram. To experience more, visit cafemocharadio.com. Brought to you by...
It's time to embrace you, your melanin-rich skin, and its unique beauty needs.
When you get over the age of 50, you definitely have to start using things on your skin.
I Know is made specifically to address maturing skin conditions. All of the I Know products provide highly effective natural ingredients dedicated to delivering proven results.
The best advice my mother gave me, take care of your skin now so to take care of you later.
I Know, your beauty solution for maturing skin.